some housekeeping details. First thing, toilets, if you need to go. Closest loo is the straight escalator to your right. If you're halfway through the exhibition and you realise you need to go, there are loos at the far end of this building. So you find someone in the black shirts, they'll be able to get you out, then bring you back in to continue your journey through. This exhibition is all, you think it's about the Terracotta Warriors, and it is, but it's also about the afterlife. The Terracotta Warriors were built to protect the Emperor in the afterlife. Now, to get to the afterlife, you had to travel through 6 heavenly portals. To get through those 6 heavenly portals, you needed a key, or in this case, a bead. It's not a buzzing bead. The bead was a jade disc, which is represented today by your fridge magnet. So, this will serve 2 purposes. Number 1, a fridge magnet for you to keep and take home as a little memento. Also, it will show you the 6 heavenly portals that you have to travel through to get to the afterlife. So as you walk through the exhibition, you'll see the 6 frosted windows. As you go through, you're not seeing in those windows until you use your bead, place it down the bottom, and the frosting will disappear, and you will see what was behind there. As you journey through, so you go through all those portals, and at the very end, if you go through all your portals, you will reach the afterlife, and you will do the same. Only difference is, you'll be alive when you get there. So the last room in the exhibition was their representation of what the afterlife was going to look like. It is stunning. It is my favourite part of the whole exhibition, which is saying a lot because the warriors themselves are incredible. But that last room, I think, is really quite stunning. What we'll do next, we'll see in the exhibition before we go in, and then there is a 4-minute video to watch, and that explains the rise of the Qin Empire and birth of the Terracotta Warriors. Now, as I said, the Warriors are 2,500 years old. They are not the oldest thing you're going to see. The oldest thing is behind me in that glass case there. It is a brass bell. So if you want to come closer and actually have a look at it, come this way, please.
Yep, you go first. Thank you. We can get behind you. You're right, Shaz, you see? Wow.
Are we allowed to take photos?
You are. So, great question. So, I'll get to that. The bow bell was one of 3 bells commissioned by the Duke of Wellington. So this was the smallest one in the set. Now, it weighs 45 kilos and sits about 64 centimetres high. As I said, this is the oldest thing here. This is over 3,000 years old. So think about, if you've ever been to Europe, all the bells in the churches, this predates them by over 1,000 years. So the Europeans weren't even close to that level of craftsmanship or metallurgy skills at that point. The bell tells the story of the Duke of Wood. He was around 500 years before the Emperor. Down the bottom there, it explains his family lineage. His family line is described on the bottom part of the bell. In the central part of the bell, phoenixes and dragons intertwined. They were the family symbol. So this was used in all official and family ceremonies. The question was asked, can you take photos? Yes, you can. Take as many as you would like. But on the condition, there is no flash photography. As you can imagine, the age of these items makes them very photosensitive. Flashing lights are not good for them at all. So please, no flash photography. From here, I'm just going to stand over there at the entrance of the cinema, where, as I said, a 4-minute video explaining the rise of the Qin Empire. Feel free to have a look, take some pics, and I'll meet you just over there. Hope you enjoy it.
Are there any other bells like this?
Nice knowing you, Shaz.
2,500 years ago, the kingdoms under heaven saw a weakened Zhou dynasty. Warlords rose, kingdoms battled, and the land fell into darkness. 7 great states were locked in endless war. For 250 years, no one leader could claim the mandate of heaven. But in the West, our kingdom, the Qin, prepared. Our greatest strength was a 13-year-old, Ying Zheng, born a hostage in an enemy city. He was to be the king of Qin. Convinced his rule would be unending, our king began construction on his eternal home. This home would be guarded by an army shaped of the earth, forged in fire, and modeled on us, his warriors, to fight for him in the afterlife. At 29, our king sought out his destiny to unite all under heaven. He started with the Han, a small, weak state that quickly fell under his rule. 2 years later, we repaid the Zhao for our king's captivity and marched on to Wei. Wei thought their rivers would protect them, but our engineers diverted the waters, drowning the city and breaking its walls. Then we marched on to face the mighty Chu. Their last wrecks cost us dearly, but their overconfidence was crushed by the force of our crossbow arrows. The Yan, in their desperation, sent an assassin to kill our king, but Ying Zheng's vengeance was swift, and the Yan were conquered. Only the Qi stood before us. When they surrendered to our might, 250 years of fighting came to an end. All under heaven looked to Ying Zheng. He was more than a king. He was Qin Shi Huang, the first Qin emperor. He created one law, one coin, one script, one measure. For the first time, China was one. The land was surveyed, roads and waterways were built connecting distant lands, and the Great Wall was constructed. By his 38th year, Qin Shi Huang had forged a new order, yet his pursuit of immortality would not be achieved. At 49, our mighty leader, Qin Shi Huang, entered the afterlife. Alas, his earthly Qin empire could not survive without the iron will of its emperor. From the turmoil emerged a new order, led by the Han, who continued our leader's vision of a unified China. Yet his kingdom beneath the earth, guarded by his warriors of clay, remains undisturbed to this day.
The wall together form the main artery and border of the Qin Empire. The Great Wall was the shield, while the Qidao was spear. The Great Wall kept external enemies at bay, while the Qidao allowed internal troop movements. In 212 BCE, the first emperor Qin ordered construction of a superhighway across the Louis Plateau, the Qin Street Road. It started from the Ganquan Palace in south and reached the banks of the Yellow River in the north. It was more than 700 kilometers long and 60 meters across at its widest point, accommodating 10 chariots. The Ganquan Palace was the starting point of Qinzhidao. At that time, 300,000 soldiers and civilians set out from here, crossing mountains and valleys along the way to a frontier. The scale of the project is breathtaking. A three-level defense system was built from frontier to the capital, Chang'an. And there were endless cities, post stations, and beacon towers along the way.
Wow.
Today, when we stand on it, we see not only a miracle of military engineering, but also an empire's ultimate pursuit of efficiency and control. In Fuxian County, Shanxi province, the Qin people cut through mountains and filled the valleys with 15-meter high rammed earth to level and widen the road. In Qingyang, Gansu province, the discovery of huge spiked stone rulers suggested that the Qin people might have used the ruler-like machines. These innovations were not for show, but for life and death gamble. When Xiongnu raiders struck, Qin troops could race from Guangdong to the north frontier in just 3 days and nights. This superhighway with a weapon. The glorious Qinzhidao was created by 700,000 soldiers and prisoners. Ancient military records say delay means death. This was the brutal efficiency of Qin Empire. 4 years of construction brought 6 centuries of use, but also laid the fuse for the empire's collapse. The first emperor of Qin intended to consolidate his centralized power using this straight road, but exhausted the people, leading them to rise up. The first emperor of Qin thought that this grand project would safeguard his descendants for 10,000 generations, but he himself only took this road after his death. The ultimate lesson that the Qinzhidao lives for today is not how it was built, but for whom it was
It's 100
built.
meters long.
This road, born for war, became a bond of civilization in Han Dynasty. Silk, bronze ware, and weight traveled north along this road, while the Xiongnu furs and Jin moved south to China. A military passage ultimately enabled exchange between the steppe and the central plains. Han Emperor Wu sent war forces along it to confront the Xiongnu. Wang Zhaojun departed from here for a marriage alliance. A road built for war later became an eastern extension of the Silk Road. History's answer lies in planet Earth. What endures for 10,000 years isn't soil or salt. A truly great project must be marred by human endurance.
Wow. Yeah, well, go. Why is it haunted? Okay.
In March 1974, a farmer in Shanxi made a chance discovery, an army that had lain buried for 2,200 years. 50 years later, the life-size Terracotta Warriors and horses revealed Qin Shi Huang's greatest achievement, the unification of China. Construction of the first emperor's mausoleum began in 247 BCE when, as a 13-year-old boy named Ying-jun, he became the king of Qin. It took 38 years to build the tomb, draining the treasury, depleting material resources and inflicting suffering on its 700,000 labourers. The Terracotta Warriors, hailed as the eighth wonder of the world, occupy 3 of hundreds of storage pits surrounding the tomb. The Qin Mausoleum reflects Qin Shi Huang's understanding of death and his great expectations for the afterlife. His Qin concepts and practices around death were continued by later emperors. Yang Ling, the mausoleum of Han Dynasty Emperor Jing, tells a different story, one of wisdom, peace, and long-term stability. Look at these Han Dynasty terracotta figures. They're only 60 centimetres high. Although small in size, they have a big story to tell. There are models of soldiers, officials, attendants, convicts, all buried to serve the emperor in his afterlife. The wise and frugal Han emperors opted for a downsized afterlife out of compassion for their people. The Qin dynasty ended after only 15 years, while the Han lasted for more than 400. The lone Qin mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang is in stark contrast to the Western Han emperors' tombs which followed. 9 were built in a line stretching 50 kilometres along the Lei River north of the Han capital, Chang'an, with 2 to its southeast. Their tombs were monuments of Han dynasty political legitimacy and dynastic succession. Each Han mausoleum is a miniature empire. At its heart was the deceased beneath a pyramid, surrounded by massive walls with gateways. The burial pits contained every need for the afterlife. Not only model people, but model animals, granaries, cooking stoves, horses to ride, carriages for journeys of the soul, and much more. The Han dynasty, which had one female ruler, Empress Lu, displayed high respect for women. They built separate tombs for the emperor and empress, with each empress's tomb pyramid almost as large as the emperor's. The Han tombs also highlighted ordinary women's achievements, including female terracotta soldiers and textile tools which advanced technology. Today we excavate burial pits, but why not the main parts of emperors' tombs? We inherit material legacy of the past. We are both investigators and protectors. Some mysteries are best kept as secrets, so we can let the ancestors continue to rest in their amazing homes. From the astounding Qin mausoleum to the restrained and standardized Han mausoleum. These underground empires house the ambitions of emperors. They also reveal their wise reforms. Today, the Qin and Han emperors' tombs are wonderful monuments revealing truths from the past across time to inform our present.
Wow.
这些沉睡千年的动物组合，曾是帝王权力的象征者。我们将在这里开启一个权力、生态与文化的永恒主题。皇家院囿其实从周代就开始，到秦代的时候，一定的规模，它的面积也比较大。从兵马俑里边、土葬坑里面出土的动物，我们也能看出来，有几马出土了这个精美的中国水禽和金银骆驼。这些发现不仅表达了秦代高超的工艺水平，更揭示了与区域的文化交流，将肉肉贸易向前推早了至少100年左右。到汉文帝时期，皇家院囿在秦朝的基础上又进一步扩大。例如，我们在汉文帝8年发现了大量的真禽艺术坑，我们目前鉴定到40多个出土。帝王们将这些真禽艺术一起陪葬，其实还是反映着当时视死如视生的世界观。它本质上是帝王执着于永恒权力的一种投射。其中最为重要的就是发现了大熊猫、亚洲貘，还有老虎、牦牛。霸陵的动物殉葬坑以考古证据呈现汉代皇家院囿的科学管理，猕猴与金丝猴同区饲养，非洲地犀鸟与亚洲貘分坑安置，这种分区模式特别像现代的动物园管理体系。其中我们也发现了这个孔雀应该是南越国进贡给汉文帝。文献记载，南越国进贡汉文帝孔雀2双，进一步证明了这个汉文帝时期帝国的强大。在霸陵里边，我们重要的发现了这个帝犀鸟。帝犀鸟目前是生活在这个非洲地区，我们也做了这个 DNA， 进一步证明了这是我们的推断是正确的。这表明当时非洲和关中平原应该有文化或者就是有贸易的一个往来。在真禽艺术坑里边，我们还发现了典型的这种南方的动物，证明2000多年前就是汉代就这个汉文帝时期关中地区的气候比较湿热，就相当于现在我们广东、广西这一带的气候。我们在霸陵还有一个重要的发现，我们发现了一个完整的大熊猫骨架。而75年的时候，王学礼老师在南陵也发现了一个完整的头骨，这证明就是当时这个霸陵或者秦岭北坡这个大熊猫还是比较多的。大熊猫我们都知道是吃竹子的，这和《汉书》记载的渭川千亩足，故都足驴是相适应的。到汉代的时候，由于这个汉文帝是国力最强盛的时候，当时人口的剧增，人口对这个环境的破坏，导致森林的这个消失。第二个就是环境本身气候也在降温，导致这个南方的动物，比如这个苏门溪、亚洲貘，就在关中平原就消失了。这就启示我们要珍惜野生动物，保护生态环境，达到人和自然的和谐相处。作为一名考古工作者，我们不仅仅是研究过去，更多的是为当代提供借鉴，也为未来全人类留下宝贵的财富。
Go. Yes, go. Maybe. A tomb with no pyramid.
这里没有巍峨的封土，没有兵马俑阵列的肃赏，但是这座深藏在中国西安市东郊白鹿原的帝王陵墓，却改写了我们对中国古代君王的认知。他不仅是开创文景之治的明君，更是中国古代唯一入选24孝的皇帝。霸陵呢，它在形制上有很大的变化。首先一个，汉密自举呢要求国葬，他当时临终遗诏提到说是霸陵山川因其故无有所改，实际上就是交代说是我的霸陵呢不要修高大的地方，就是按照原来的地貌是什么样的就什么样，借着原来的地貌的这个形式呢，这个做一个陵墓就行了。作为帝王陵墓来讲，它采用了当时最高的墓葬形式，带4条墓道的这样一个墓形式。另外一个，它陵园里边的外残坑呢，全部是围绕在它的陵墓周围。在它之前的这2座陵墓呢，就相对于汉文帝来讲的话是比较凌乱的。就是汉文帝的这种布局呢，实际上反映了当时加强中央集权、皇权至上的这么一个。实际上为后世的西汉帝国树立了一个规制方面的典范。汉文帝霸陵的选址呢也极具战略，其实它深藏着一个帝王对王朝的深谋远虑。霸陵呢不仅仅是埋葬汉文帝的陵墓，它的旁边呢还有一个可以居住10多万人的这个城邑，当时叫霸陵邑。这个陵邑呢居住的居民呢，实际上可以防范东方诸侯发生这个叛乱之后呢，如果突破这个关中东部的这个武关和函谷关之后呢，这2个关口失落之后呢，霸陵邑的这10多万人呢，可以抵抗一段时间，这样就为帝国调集军队争取了时间。另一方面，很重要的一个，他是为了解决他母亲的葬制，因为他的母亲呢是刘邦的嫔妃。理论上讲呢，他如果说是合葬到唐陵的话，他只能以嫔妃的这个名义做这个陪葬墓。但是汉文帝后来当了皇帝之后呢，尊他母亲为太后，实际上就是给了他母亲一个皇后的地位，然后呢，将自己的陵墓选在白鹿原上，让他母亲随着他葬在。这样的话，就可以单独给他母亲起一座陵园，按照皇后的陵制来埋葬，这样就解决了他母亲最后的这个地位。汉文帝呢，当时临终的时候要求霸陵国葬呢，不仅仅不起封土，而且他要求呢，霸陵陪葬不得以金银铜锡为饰。但是他给他母亲罗太后的南陵呢，却陪葬了很多的这个金银器我们在发掘一座外藏坑的时候，就发现了100多件金银器。这些金银器呢，带有明显的草然装饰文化风格，反映了当时在2000年前，就是西汉初年的时候，跟北方就有文化交流。汉文帝这位节俭的帝王，他其实是用矛盾的这种选择告诉我们，制度可以可信，孝道永不可信。考古呢，并不是打开地图去找，而是透过发掘出宝石来布证历史。具体到霸陵呢，就是我们透过发现的这些陶俑的形象，在南陵发现的这个金器的这种光芒，看见一个王国，看见一个帝王对权力的这种克制，以及对母亲孝敬的仁情，还有对百姓的担当，这些才是中华文明最珍贵的陪葬品。
Probably no kid. Yeah, you should read that about
The
them.
mausoleum of the first emperor of Qin is the largest royal tomb with the richest funerary offerings in Chinese history. From 2001 to 2003, a total of 46 life-size painted bronze waterfalls was unearthed from the page K0007. The bronze waterfalls include 20 swans, 20 geese, and 6 cranes. The pit was located more than 900 meters northeast beyond the outer wall of the mausoleum. The bronze waterfall constitute the earliest and largest collection of polychromy bronze sculptures ever discovered in China. When first excavated, these waterfalls were damaged and heavily corroded due to long-time exposure to high humidity underground environments and human interference. For the conservation and technical study of the bronze waterfall, a collaboration project was formed between the Shanxi Academy of Archaeology, the Emperor Qin Shi Huang's Mausoleum Site Museum, the Romano-Germanic Central Museum, and the University Science and Technology Beijing. Based on preliminary scientific analysis, surface cleaning, stabilization of harmful corrosion, and surface consolidation have been performed. Concurrent with restoration efforts, we employed multiple scientific analysis to investigate the features of the manufacturing technology. Our research revealed: first, this bronze waterfall was cast using copper tin binary alloy containing about 10% tin. This composition was fundamentally different from the bronze artifact dated to the Eastern Zhou dynasty and unearthed from other sites in China. The selection of such material might be influenced by imperial power of the first emperor of Qin and was aligned with the Muslims' design philosophy of supreme imperial authority. Second, this bronze waterfall shared identical mineral origins with the bronze artifact in early period of the Qin state, but were completely different from the bronze artifacts during Western Zhou dynasty. The copper ores used in this bronze waterfall likely originated from the Qinling mountain. Third, the surface of the bronze waterfall was decorated with pigments. Swans and cranes were adorned with bone white pigment, while geese were adorned with carbon black pigment. The ancients employed both flat wash and relief painting techniques to depict feather textures. This polychrome decoration not only concealed casting defects and repair marks on the surface of copper body, but also enhanced the sense of realism in detail. Most remarkably, casting techniques such as bronze joints in neck parts, inlaid bronze patches for surface repairing, strips and brush marks on inner surface, corrosions and chappings are rare or even not found in traditional Chinese mold casting bronze, but show striking similarities with casting techniques for bronze sculptures from ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, and ancient Rome. Thus, we thought the casting techniques of this bronze waterfall was influenced by the Western bronze casting techniques.
It's amazing. Yeah, I'm filming.
Shanxi province is the cradle of Chinese civilization, with cultural heritage from 3 dynasties.
including the Zhou, Qin, Han, and the Tang dynasties. Archaeology in Shanxi province began in 1934 with the excavation of the Doujipai site in Kaohsiung City. Over the past 9 decades, Shanxi archaeology has developed from discoveries of the Zhou and Qin civilizations into a multidisciplinary international system, tracing the roots of civilizations and serving the modern society. Archaeology decodes human past with physical evidence. The Terracotta Warriors in Emperor Qin Shi Huang's mausoleum reveals the Qin dynasty's military system and has also received global understanding of ancient Chinese sculptures and funeral practices. The Shima stone city, spanning 4.25 million square meters, prove the existence of a highly advanced urban civilization in northern China, dating back to 4,000 years ago. The stone construction techniques are strikingly similar to those of Mesopotamia and Egypt. These discoveries are evidence of Chinese diverse civilization and also vivid testimony to the early cross-regional cultural interactions. Amid rapid urbanizations, the Chinese government follows the principles of archaeology before project development, investigation before construction. Over the past decade, the Shanxi has conducted rescue excavations at thousands of sites during constructions for the urban renewal, expressway, high-speed railway, and the reservoirs. The landmark pieces like the Darwin Palace National Archaeological Park and the site of the Weiyang Palace of the Western Han Dynasty are good examples of the harmonious coexistence between the urban growth and the heritage preservation. I think a good museum should bring artifacts to life. Exhibitions require a good balance of expert research, education, and enjoyment. Excavation comes first, then conservation, display, and public engagement. The Shanxi archaeology has a very long history of international cooperation. We have collaborated with Australian universities and museums for decades. We have partnered with Oxford University and the University of California, Los Angeles to establish labs. This exhibition is not just a display of cultural relics, but a two-way dialogue. We look forward to exploring more possibilities in cultural heritage preservation with Australian colleagues. The exhibition in the West Australian Museum has a wonderful objects, including Qin bronze ring, beautiful hand pottery figurines, and gold objects which have never seen before. We want to share the excitement of archaeological discoveries, the story of objects itself, and the human spirit within them. We welcome you to the exhibition from the home of Terracotta Warriors.
Video, you doing it. Okay, I'm videoing you. You can see where they're broken.
Being a warrior, you could die at any time. And at 13, he was prince or king or something.
I'm following you. Where are you going now? Ooh. Yeah, look. Wow. That's massive. That's the great big pits. Yeah. Wow. Want me to stop? Oh, okay. That's the entrance to it. Yeah. Oh my god, that's massive. Imagine that. Wow. Well, this is a terracotta soldiers at Perth Museum, Western Australia. We're just looking at some footage on the thing, but come down, YouTubers, and have a look and just be mind blown. It's breathtaking. Yep. Don't mind Dee. She's just swimming amongst everything. There's a golden bird looking at her. I think we've got a big kid. We're only ones in here at the moment. Go. Oh, Groot.